Hello, good day. Welcome again to creative writing. So, I think this is going to be the last topic that we're going to tackle for this quarter, and before we are going to have the quarter exams. So, our topic is about intertextuality, a technique of drama. So, what comes into your mind when you read the word intertextuality? Do you have any idea? So for our learning objectives, we have here identify types of intertextual techniques and then use intertextuality as a technique of drama. Okay, so for activity 1, let's find out what are the similarity or what programs have similar topics. Okay, and A, match A to column B. So for A, it's Tulfo. So the answer to that is, I think, it's face-to-face, right? Then magpakailanman is MMK from ABS-CBN. And then Jessica Soho from Rated K in ABS-CBN as well. And then ASAP, Sunday Pinasaya. So mostly these programs, these TV programs, they have a similar um, topic, or they have this similar programming. They have similar engagements with their audience and the topics that they're tackling about in each program. So what is intertextuality? So intertextuality is the way that one text influences another. This can be a direct borrowing such as quotation or plagiarism, or slightly more indirect such as parody, pastiche, allusion, or translation. The function and effectiveness of intertextuality can often depend quite a bit on the reader's prior knowledge and understanding before reading the secondary text. Parodies and allusions depend on the reader's knowledge what is being parodied or alluded to. So for intertextuality to be functioning very well, especially like in creating a fiction and presenting a drama, the audience should have a background knowledge or a prior knowledge of what is being alluded to. So kind of intertextuality, it is like you are going to make an allusion of something, okay? But like for example, the parody, you're creating or recreating something, but for the purpose of humorous or being humorous, right? So intertextuality was developed by the post-culturalist Julia Kristeva in the 1960s, and since then it's been widely accepted by postmodern literary critics and theoreticians. When writers borrow from previous texts, their work acquires layers of meaning. In addition, when a text is read in the light of another text, all the assumptions and effects of the other text give a new meaning and influence the way of interpreting the original text. So there is an addition, a new, like a new knowledge, a new understanding, a new enlightenment like that to the original text. So it's just like the second text, or the second text. It's just like um a better version. Yeah, something like that. It serves as a sub-theme and reminds us of the double narratives in allegories. Intertextuality can be signified in the form of conversations, architecture, sounds, and physical activity. When considering intertextuality, it is easy to get confused with context. When texts are making a social comment or referring to an issue, they are not making intertextual references. They are making references to what is or was happening in the world at the time in which it is made. So there is a difference between intertextuality and context. So the context is actually what is happening, what is going on. But when we say intertextuality, there is a reference of what is happening right now there is a reference of what happens in the past. So that is intertextuality. So for example, in Pan's Labyrinth, so I'm going to show you this video, and you would appreciate the video more if you have a background knowledge or a prior knowledge, especially like maybe you have read the story of Alice in Wonderland or the novel, or you have seen the movie, because there it the this movie Pan's Labyrinth, this movie has a lot of references to Alice in Wonderland. This is just a trailer though.
In a dark time, when hope was bleak, there lived a young girl whose only escape was in a legend that wanted her back. The legend speaks of the lost soul of a princess from another world who will one day be reborn. There will be signs that mark her return. There will be secrets that reveal her destiny. There will be a journey that will make you believe.
Okay, that scene was also in Alice in Wonderland, when Alice was so curious about what's that in there in the wall, but it turned out to be a door, and she got in.
From Picture House and the imagination of Guillermo del Toro. In darkness, there can be light. In misery, there can be beauty. In death, there can be life. Pan's Labyrinth.
Okay, so that's it. Do you have already an idea about intertextuality? It's like, there is like an existing literature already, and it would be used in another text or in another story as a reference, or like the scenes in the next story has the elements of those in the original text. So intertext, meaning to say, like, you're going to, like, when we say intertwine, it's, put together. So it's like that. All right. So common examples of intertextuality. So examples such as allusions like the following. He was lying so obviously you could almost see his nose growing. So it is alluded to what kind of story? The story of Pinocchio, that every time Pinocchio lies, his nose is going to grow, right? So this line has an intertextuality, has an allusion to the Pinocchio story. He's asking her to the prom. It's like a happy version of Romeo and Juliet. So the Romeo and Juliet that we know, it was so tragic. But this statement here, it said, it's like a happy version of Romeo and Juliet. So still, there is an allusion of that famous literature of William Shakespeare. Next, it's hard being an adult. Peter Pan had the right idea. So Peter Pan never grows up, right? He never grows up. So there's an allusion, but then the sentence is contradicting. So it's like an irony to it. Okay, example number one. East of Eden in 1952 by John Steinbeck, a retelling of the account of Genesis. So in the story, um, East of Eden, there is and the quotation there, even God can have a preference, can he? Let's suppose God liked lamb better than vegetables. I think I do myself. Cain brought him a bunch of carrots, maybe, and God said, I don't like this. Try again. Bring me something I like, and I will set you up alongside your brother. But Cain got mad. His feelings were hurt, and when a man's feelings are hurt, he wants to strike at something, and Abel was in the way of his anger. So there's an explanation. This is another work of literature based on the biblical story of Cain and Abel. Steinbeck makes an allusion abundantly clear. Steinbeck both references the story directly and also reworks the story through his contemporary characters of Cal and Aaron. So the characters of Cal and Aaron were they have similar situations with Cain and Abel. So there is a an allusion. So hypertextuality was imposed. Okay, example number two. So the spared Dane in days gone by, and the kings who ruled them had courage and greatness. We have heard of those princess heroic campaigns. Beowulf is an example of intertextuality because the monster, Grendel, is said to be a descendant of the biblical figure of Cain. The first Beowulf poet would probably have assumed his reader would have understood this allusion and indeed know a great deal about the Bible stories. Our contemporary reading of Beowulf is necessarily intertextual as well because the original poem was written in Old English, which is unintelligible to modern English speakers. Yes. Siamos Heni used the original text to produce his translation, of course, but his resulting work is his own creation. So, in the first definition, if you can still recall in the first slide or first few slides about intertextuality, translation is also intertextuality. Okay, so in the story of Beowulf, uh, there is also there's also a an allusion to the biblical figure of Cain. So there. Okay, example number three. Another example of intertextuality is the story of Philippine fictional hero Darna. We know Darna is going to what's that? Swallow a stone, right? And then before she's gonna say Darna like that or Darna. Does it sound similar with any other story? So there's a story here. Um, Zat Shasha Zaturna. Okay, I'm gonna show you a video. So while Darna is about a woman who gains superpowers, Shasha Saturna is about a gay man who transforms into a superpowered woman. The villain in Darna, known as Valentina, the Queen of Snakes, is inspired by the Gorgons race of Greek mythology, which features Medusa. So there's like intertextuality from Darna and also from the Greek mythology Medusa. Okay, let's watch the video. This is just a trailer, I think, or like, clips. finally, Jaja Saturna is actually a graphic novel.
Ang pinakamalaking pelikula ng taon. Ang pinakabonggang superhero.
Ang husay mo!
Ano yan?
Ang ibig sabihin galing to sa langit? Ada! Naku, ito yung mga nababasa ko sa comics. Ay, subo mo! May powers yan, Ada! Maniwala ka sa akin dali! Eh, paano?
Malaki! Paano ko sasabotong ito?
So, the stone of Darna is just very little enough for her to swallow, but this stone, you know, as you can see, it's a party.
Zato!
And that's Rostom Padilla. She's gay. So instead of yelling Darna, she's saying Zaturna.
Hindi, saan ba nangyari yan?
Eh, doon na sa may wagang bulkan!
May wagang bulkan? Hindi naman nandito?
Ba't ang dami mo tanong? Patayin mo na!
Eh, paano? Eh, naiinis na hindi ko mapatay. Ang baka niya ang laki-laki.
Sinabi ko makabakan mo yan? Dodo! Naku!
Sino ba naman na mag-aakala ng isang magaling naman
Okay, that's it. So Another example is the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. So, Dumbledore tells Harry Potter not to pity on a dying wizard. The wizard in question has been living for hundreds of years due to Sorcerer's Stone and is not afraid of death. J.K. Rowling is hinting back at the line in James Barrie's Peter Pan, who once uttered to die would be an awfully big adventure. So that scene was taken from Peter Pan, the movie and the story. There are themes in common between these two fantasy stories of Harry Potter and Peter Pan, yet the reader does not need to pick up on the influence of Jane Barrie's work to appreciate J.K. Rowling's work. And J.K. Rowling also borrowed from the sources as J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings trilogy and Real Life Nazi Germany. Yet once again, the reader can appreciate the story without thinking about its influences. So, you know, this is a good idea that intertextuality is real because as like for example you are tasked or um, you want to write the story and you don't know where to start, what would be the topic, what would be the what would be, you don't have any inspiration. But you know what, if you are going to read a lot of books and a lot of stories, you can actually start your own story out of those scenes from the stories that you have read. You can actually create your own. So you're not plagiarizing, you're just like in research it's just like paraphrasing, but in literature it's intertextualizing or and using intertextuality, so something like that. Example number 5, James Joyce's Ulysses was a deliberate retelling of Homer's Odyssey, but transplanted out by ancient Greece into modern-day Dublin. The various chapters in Joyce's novel correspond to the adventures of Odysseus in Homer's epic poem. Are you familiar of uh, the Odyssey of Homer? It's um, a very good story for you to read. For Joyce, the point of this deliberate intertextuality was to show that ordinary people can experience something heroic in their everyday lives. Because Odysseus was in on a he was in an adventure rather. So it took him a lot of time to go back home because there were a lot of adventures and misadventures. But eventually, when he came home, there were differences because there were traitors in the in his office. And but then the good thing about this story, the Odysseus, was Penelope, his wife, was very loyal to him. Okay, another example is Star Wars, but many do not realize that it was intended to be an intertextual work based on the psychological theories of Joseph Campbell. And the theory was that universal form of hero stories that appears in cultures all over the world. So George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, wanted to explore this idea of cross-cultural heroic ideal in the character of Luke Skywalker. Are you familiar with Star Wars? Okay, number 7. Martin Luther King's writing heavily influenced by the work of Mohandas Gandhi. All right. So, several relationships that authors depend on to communicate through intertextuality, allusion. So, I've kept on saying that in earlier slides about allusion. So, a generally implied reference to characters, scenes, plot elements, etc., that appear in another work. For instance, Morpheus' promise to Neo in The Matrix to show him how deep the rabbit hole goes is an allusion to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. So, in this story from The Matrix, but they've taken out like one scene or a line from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So that's an allusion. Pastiche, Italian to the Italian word for paste, a collage of words, phrases, or entire passages from one or more authors that creates a new literary work. So, pwede ra di siya, no? You're going to get ideas from other authors. So, it's just like really paraphrasing so that you can already also create your own story. But of course, um, you have to make it subtle in such a way na dili siya pangupya, but you really have created a new story based on other stories or other words, other phrases from other works. Okay? So when you say pastiche, that's you pasting together, incorporating elements of plot, theme, style, and even character development. So example of it is the Metamorphosis by the Roman poet Ovid is a giant pastiche of hundreds of earlier Greco-Roman myths. So pwede rin na siya. We can be authors, we can be writers based on the stories of other authors. But of course, you have to be a reader in order for you to become a writer. Because what are you gonna write if you don't have here? Okay? So you have to read a lot. Read, read, read. So it's the same with making a research. If you have not read anything, nothing will come out. Another is parody. The parody reappropriates the work of others, but for the purpose of poking fun rather than praising. So, as you can see, right now there are a lot of parodies in TikTok, you know, especially the famous parody in Cebu, I think, kay katong, ano, asan chicken cordon? Gihimo siyang kanta, gihimo siyang meme, gihimo siyang, sa to, basta, kanang mga ingana. But of course, kung mag-parody mo, the purpose ano kay just to have to be humorous. But of course, along the way, we have to be careful in making such parodies because there would be others that are so sensitive. So we have to be careful what we put out there, and that would not hurt others or, you know, stain others' reputations. Adaptation. So it is another intertextual technique. Adaptation, it is the reinterpretation or reimagining an existing text and making it new. So, like for example, Batman, it's a comic, and then it was made into a movie. So yeah, that's an adaptation. Like a song made into a poem or made into a drama, or a drama made into a song, made into, you know, another version, another form, another genre of literature. Appropriation is another type of intertextual technique which makes use of adaptation, reinterpretation, or reimagining an existing text and making it new. Okay. Um, wait sa, nasaag ko. Okay, sayop ang kanang module. All right. So appropriation is the same as translation. You are going to translate, and then the created work or the translated work will become your own. Yeah, something like that. That's appropriation. All right. So there's an activity. So you just have to pause this part so that you can read the instruction. Also, the instruction said study the lyrics of the song Roar by Katy Perry and Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. Analyze the underlined phrases or lines carefully. How is intertextuality being applied in the songs? Okay, you know the underlined phrases. Let me check again. The Because I just got the videos from YouTube, so the underlined in Roar, Eye of the Tiger, I am a champion, I earned my stripes, but I got up, brushing off the dust like thunder gonna shake the ground. So, kato siya ang mga underlines sa Roar. Sa Eye of the Tiger, rising up to the challenge of a rival, rising up straight to the top. Had the guts, got the glory. I'm not gonna stop. So, ito siya. But you have to listen to the song.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing. You're gonna hear me roar, louder than a lion. I am a tiger, fire, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me Now I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. I went from zero to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up. Already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger.
Okay. So, ito siya. Eye of the Tiger. So, the lyrics of the poem is about Eye of the Tiger, I am a champion, learned I earned my stripes, I got up brushing off the dust, like thunder gonna shake the ground. So it's like being strong after adversities and coming back up after having a lot of, you know, bad things happening, but fighting, still fighting. Moment yun ng life, fighting. Another one is The Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. I'll just skip to the part that I need rather.
Face to face, out in the heat, hanging tough, staying hungry. They stack the odds till we take to the street for the kill, with the skill to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising
Eye of the Tiger, this song, basically it says here, the eye of the tiger is the dream of the fight, rising up to the challenge of a rival. So here, rising up to the challenge. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night and is watching us all with the eye of the tiger. Rising up straight to the top, had the guts, got the glory. So if we have the guts, like the courage, we'll have the glory. Sometimes life will push us, but we will not budge because we are a coward. But then, in living this life, we don't have to be a coward. Sometimes, though, cowardice would not make anything. But if you're a if you're coward, nothing is gonna happen in your life. This life, there are a lot of challenges, but then we have to go through it. So, you know, and the eye of the tiger. So basically, between the two songs, what are the similarities, or how is intertextuality being applied in the two songs? So write your answer here. So at least 10 sentences, maybe. Yeah, in a one half crosswise. Okay, so you are going to pause this part so that you can answer. Just write T if the statement is true and F if it is not. Okay, thank you. Today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. So fight. Let's fight. Life is still ahead. The goals that you have in your life is still far, but then you just have to take it one step, one brave step after one brave step at a time. Bye!